CEO of BizzyCar, Ryan Maher. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, good to be back with you.
What's up? How are you doing, Ryan? How's biz?
Business is great. You talking to my daughter is Biz and BizzyCar is Biz, so it's been a good couple weeks. I just got back from Vegas late last night from a digital dealer, so nothing like a 4-hour flight that lands at midnight,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's interesting. We're seeing a ton of recall activity out there in the marketplace. Just before we get into your fundraising, your raise, you raised $20 million in a follow-on to your Series B funding round. Before we go into that, just any updates or any information to dealers watching about recalls and what's going on in that space.
Yeah, so we just dropped our Q3 recall report, which you can find on the BizzyCar blog. But 8.5 million cars recalled in Q3. It's the largest we've had in almost 2 years. The astounding part is 87% of those recalls are crash related. So there's
Wow.
a huge impact on this one. Less than 15% of those recalls can be updated through OTA, so they have to go to the dealer to be inspected or repaired. So just a tremendous, tough quarter for the manufacturers, but an opportunity for the dealers to build relationships with their customers and get those unsafe cars back in.
Yeah. So Ford, most recalled OEM right now. Any insight from your perspective in what's causing this challenge and how they're approaching fixing it?
Yeah, if I had the insight into the underlying issue, this would be a, a different conversation. But
Different
I
convo.
know, listen, Ford's our partner. We love working with those guys. We want to get those cars repaired quickly when a recall is issued. But I think one of the biggest challenges that these manufacturers are having today, and I'm a car dealer, right? So
Yeah.
I don't work at the OEM. But the biggest challenge is the cars are getting so complicated. And I was talking to some of my technicians, last week, and I said, "Hey, what's the hardest part about your job?" And they said the electrical systems are just so complex. And if they were going back to technician school, A school, they'd be learning a lot more about electricity and how things are computer assisted architecture and just some of the complicated parts. But I mean, think about it. I mean, I have like 9 different seat adjustments on my car, and that all has a motor, and there's electric componentry goes to that. So these cars have just gotten so complicated, and if something goes wrong, it creates a safety issue, and they got to get repaired.
Yeah. Well, let's turn to BizzyCar and your recent $20 million Series B funding round. Tell us a little bit about that and what kind of strategic support beyond capital do these backers bring to the table at BizzyCar?
Yeah, so we're really excited for continue to be able to raise so over 50 million of capital raised in BizzyCar now. We've got great investors, great partners, and Dealer Tire, as well as FM Cap came in. So those of you who know who Chase Frazier and those guys at First Move, they are phenomenal. So what are we going to do? So big hiring ahead for us. You said it earlier on your show. There's a lot of stuff going on with AI and what's going to differentiate, right? I think Auto News had an article this week. There's a lot of noise out there in the space on what separates this AI company from that AI company. It's confusing to dealers, right?
Yeah.
And the difference is, are you going out there and talking to these dealers and
agree.
helping explain and educate?
Yes.
And so
Get buy-in.
Totally. And my dad always says you've sold somebody when they understand what the actual root problem is. And I think a lot of vendors, they don't understand the root problem. They just want to sling some product at you and make a buck. That doesn't work. Especially dealers are smart. They figure stuff out. So we're going to be hiring a lot of folks that are going into stores and helping educate and communicate. Because I mean, every day I turn on your show or I see Yossi post something about some new AI thing, and I'm like in the space, right? And I'm like, oh my God, there's like 10 new updates today. You just can't keep up with it all. So holding hands and linking arms is going to be key.
Yeah. So you've got a bunch of additional capital. You scale, add additional employees to go out and help with it. I think you've said in some places you're aiming for nearly 1,000 dealers on your mobile service platform by year end. What's the plan to scale operations, support, and quality control to match that growth? Because that's pretty quick growth, right? Even in an AI world.
Yeah, so we have our core product, which is our recall solutions, fully automated recall management for car dealerships. But what we realized in the process was you can create a great customer experience. So instead of just texting customers that have a recall, if I can also offer them, hey, I can fix this car in your driveway,
Yeah.
the consumers, the conversion rates go through the roof. And I was only working with, one or two manufacturers on mobile, and now they're all doing it, right? Because of the retention opportunity and the customer experience. And so we went from having like 20 dealers using our mobile app 2 years ago. We put like 500 on last year. It was a crazy
Hmm.
number,
Wow.
400 and something. And we'll have almost 1,000. We'll double that again this year. So super high growth. I think it parallels nicely with recalls. It's a great place to get started. Some of my team was at the Mopar event, Stellantis event down in Orlando this week, and I mean Stellantis is getting big into mobile now, like Ford is, and we're working with the Germans, we're working with the Japanese. It is really becoming a push because customers want convenience.
Yeah.
Why do I have to come to your store? Fix the car where I live. Fix the car at my place of work, and mobile is a huge part of that.
So a lot of companies come in with mobile solutions. Tell us a little bit about what technology or capability does your product give a dealer that allows them to be more efficient in that mobile sphere,
Yeah.
in recalls and just service in general.
So dealers will try anything for 90 days, right? We'll give it a
Right.
shot.
Yeah.
So we tried mobile. It was okay. In order for mobile to work, it has to pencil, right? It has to make money. And a lot of
Yeah.
the manufacturers, they're artificially propping that up with subsidies. And
Ford. Yeah, they're doing a great
dealers
job
will,
with it. Yeah.
yeah, we'll run away from that once the subsidy ends. So what
Yeah.
we're doing is we're helping dealers make money doing mobile, not just with recalls, but we're doing a tremendous amount of work on non-recalls as well. And by being able to bundle that into the mobile solution, you got to have things like route optimization and parts and supply chain information in the mobile app. And it's just got to be easy, right? Our technicians, they don't want to be fighting the technology. They want to be repairing cars. And so
Yeah.
we've made this incredible service experience outside of the dealership. And it's got to be easy for the customer, but it's got to be really easy for the dealership as well. Scheduling,
Uh,
mobile
Let
repair.
me ask you on that vein, you mentioned the word easy a few times, which is obviously huge for dealers because the barrier for dealers is adopting that technology. Now you have a great solution. How are you getting the dealers to buy in? Could you walk us through a little bit of, how easy it is for the dealers to utilize your software?
Yeah, so I mean, we say busy makes it easy, right? Like that's our little. So I, I spend a lot of my time talking to dealer principals, and it's helpful. I'm a dealer, right? I understand this problem. We have a technician shortage, and what's the best way to solve for that? Create a new opportunity recruiting pipeline, right? We've been able to find and source technicians that never would have come and worked in our store, and so I spend a lot of time talking to dealer principals, talking to executive managers, because it starts at the top. And
Mhm.
if the service manager is told, "Hey, go make mobile service work," I mean, it's like, come on, guys. Like, I got enough problems. You want me to take this on? You haven't given
Mhm.
them a path to uh, profitability. It just feels like a headache. And so what we've been able to do is I talk to a lot of these DPs, or my team talks to them, and we've made it convenient to start. So we have mobile service in a box. You can come to us, you're getting technology, you're getting setup, you're getting configuration on the truck. And then we have a team of people that fly to your store and they sit there and they work with you. This is outside of what the OEM does. We do
Hmm.
our own consulting, and we got some big announcements coming up in the next few weeks. We're really building out that team. There's some pretty well-known faces in the industry that have recently joined us. So coming out of the raise is helpful. We can start attracting some really premier talent, and we've got kind of the big names in mobile have gravitated toward us, and we're very humble and fortunate to get some pros join us, and that's how we scale this thing.
Where do you think? What do you think when you think about recall work overall? Again, given BizzyCar actually brings to CDG you sponsor and support the CDG recall report. We get all the data through you that we're able to turn back around to dealers. There's just a lot of recall work out there. There is a cost, stop sell on lots, customers coming in, but the opportunity of service, obviously. Is there one or two in this October of 2025 things that dealers are missing about recall work that they could capitalize on better or do better today?
Yeah. So the way that I usually end my meetings with dealers is I say recalls equals retention, right? That's the message I want them to take away from this is I can reach out to any consumer without their consent via text message, and I can get them into your store. That's super valuable. So a lot of service managers will say, hey, I got enough CP work right now. I don't need recall work. You're missing the point, right? Like the point here is recalls equal retention. And if I can get a customer into the store that's either never been there before because they bought their car used, right, at a used car lot or CarMax or whatever, if I can get that customer in and they've never been there before, it's an opportunity. Now they're in your CRM, you can market to them, right? Like there's a huge component that goes beyond fixing the recall. So, when people ask me, I mean, to your question, Sam, what is it about recalls that maybe we're missing? The thing I want them to take away is this is additional CP upsell. There's additional part sales, but the real value is I'm getting somebody in my store or service mobily, sell them a car, right? Like this is what we're going for. 70 million cars have a recall, 1 out of 4. This is a massive part of our industry. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as an opportunity.
So you sponsor the recall tracker for CDG. Where does that data come from, Ryan?
Yeah, so
because that's a lot of data.
It's a lot of data.
Yeah.
We took this problem on very differently than a lot of other marketing companies in this space. We have direct partnerships with the OEMs, and I just want to make sure, I know you got a lot of people listening. That means I have a contract or some sort of legal agreement with these car manufacturers. Nobody else has this, right? And so we're getting not just recall information, but parts information, parts availability. It's the integration with the OEMs and it's integration with the DMSs. And so we get the data before the dealers get it. And we see the remedy available, the part available. We see that before it hits FMC Dealer, NNA Net, or HyundaiDealer.com, right? All these internal OEM portals. And so we are able to arm the service department and the parts department well in advance. So where do we get our data from? We get it from the source. It's the best data you can get, and we get it for the U.S. We operate in Canada, and we're gonna be hitting up a few other places here in the future.
Well, Ryan, we absolutely appreciate you being on the show. I don't usually do this, but this is one of the tools. And you and I didn't have this conversation in advance today. You haven't passed me $20 outside the wherever, but I'll tell you, you came into Ziegler many months ago before the summer and said, hey, this works. Just try it. We tried it in every store where you were. It crushed it without any interaction or engagement by the teams. It just kind of flowed in. And it's been one of the very few AI tools that has delivered as promised and then exceeded the expectations. So I appreciate you made a special visit out to me to have that conversation and show us the tool. I think, again, when we talk about great AI tools, the differentiator is great people that can bring people into that vision, show them how it works, and then get usage and not competition in the tool. And this, BizzyCar did that plus more. So that's not an advertisement. I'm just telling it as a fact. But we appreciate you always coming on the show and sharing your perspectives on all things recall. Ryan Maher, BizzyCar, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, you.
Thanks, Ryan.